Friends, how are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is well. I do mean that. Today is the day. Let's eat as many deviled eggs as we can. Do our part. Pumpkin pie and all. Friends, hope you are well. So obviously the market's closed today, and that's the worst part about today is that we don't have the market open, but it'll open back up tomorrow here until 1 o'clock, and then it's closed again. So it's been a tremendous week in the market here, and SoFi has given us essentially $1 a day. Have you noticed this? Since Monday, when the market opened back up to really good numbers, we have had essentially $1 a day. We have started, Monday we started back up to $25. Next day we hit 26. Really it was Monday we hit 26, 27 barely, but essentially Tuesday 27, bleeding into 28, Wednesday, and then today, not today, but yesterday, Wednesday, SoFi pushed into $29 and some change here, trying to get back to $30. So there's obviously clear signs that SoFi is not going to stay down in the low 20s. It's just not going to happen. And what that means, what that's telling us, clear signs right now, is that when it falls below even 27, 26 right now, it's going to get ate up. It's going to get ate up. And this is one reason why last week when this was at 23, 24, I publicly told people, I said, hey, I'm buying. Even at these levels, I'm buying. I still think that SoFi is a steal under $30. I really do. I think this is an easily clear double position by, 6 months from now where we could be with SoFi. If you don't know, I am very bullish on the stock. So if you're looking for someone that's going to really try to talk you out of being in SoFi, this is not the place to be. I'm sorry. But I am very bullish in SoFi with everything they've got going on here. There really is not a lot of other stocks right now, companies really, however you want to plate this, that have such a beautiful track record here the last handful of years with quarterlies. Not to mention everything that SoFi has been pushing into and now releasing this whole crypto platform of what it's going into, which is going to drive in more revenue on top of already increasing revenue right now. So this is why 2026 is going to be such a phenomenal year. And, what's so interesting about what we just went through with these Q3s, there is a real possibility, there's a real conversation here, and I'm hopeful for it, and I hope I'm not wrong about it, but, we may never see SoFi release under $1 billion quarterly again. That could just be a realistic situation. And this is why I think that we could see some leapfrogging in price show up here early into next year. I really do think that. I don't think it's going to be that long from price action, what we've seen here. I mean, we just gained $4 or $5 essentially here, however you want to cough it up, split it up here, from Friday to now. That's 4 trading days right there of essentially getting right back up into almost $30 here. 23 on Friday, 29 and some change here on Wednesday in out the market. Now it's Thursday, we're eating turkey, and we're going to have one more day here of action. And right now the market, there's really no bad news lingering. We're not going to hear from the feds until, a few days, more than a few days, but a week or so here when the feds meet back up and tell us if they're going to do the rate cut or not. And from what we're hearing, it looks like they're going to do the rate cut. This is why the conversation of it looks like we are very close to achieving this 7,000 point range in the S&P 500. Now, a lot of our lower cap stocks, smaller cap stocks here, they're cleaning up still. It's still a heavy mess with a lot of the lower cap stocks right now, from Rich Tech, Big Bear, Soundhound, a lot of the ones I talk about. A lot of them, they've been beat down, battered. Some of them have held pretty good, but they've been beat to smithereens here. But SoFi is obviously, SoFi is a big boy. It's turned into a big boy stock. It's growing up before us, and it's a wild situation, because what I'm saying here is that when this stock falls down with market pullback, it's going to be bought up. It is going to be bought up. I think there's a real conversation that within, by Q4 here, even, we're going to be in $1 billion quarterly range. I know I've said this, but this is what we're looking at here with all evidence we have before us. And we're talking potential, this is where we start to talk about heavy 30s, where we start to see, 35, 38, 40. Let's just say by May, Q1, coming into Q1 with SoFi here, I think there's an argument, there's a conversation where everyone might find some common ground to say, like, okay, I think anywhere from 35 to low 40s, we could definitely see. Depending on how aggressive, obviously, we have to get to Q4 here to see how aggressive it is. It's not really a conversation of like, are they going to make $1 billion? It's pretty much yes. I find it hard to believe that all the quarterlies just here this year have been so aggressive, that now the pullback would show up here at the end of the year. I highly doubt that, especially with people spending every little bit of money they have right now, credit cards, people needing cash, loans, things happening. Depending what is going on, I don't think a lot of this is going to show up on this quarterly Q4, but the crypto part they have set out here. But two, SoFi is finding customers aggressively, and that is really encouraging too. So I think there's plenty of argument here to say that they're just going to keep rolling into this new aggressive zone here. It's going to be interesting to see if we can find a place where SoFi gets to this, like, quarterlies were good, but we didn't see as of aggressive quarterly. Does that make sense? Where in the sense of like, we're seeing things slow down a little bit. We're not seeing that right now. That's what's so interesting, that SoFi is, just dismantling this, even what tidbit of bear conversation is out there right now, that they're not going to keep growing as aggressive as they are, because that's not what we're seeing. We're just not coming into contact with that. So I think anything under $30 right now with SoFi, if you're getting to SoFi here and you're like, man, I know I should pull the trigger, I need to get in this, think about 6 months from now. This could be a clear cut 6 months from now where you're like, I'm glad I did that. There's so much that we will be walking into here into next year, undoubtedly. I think we're easily talking about inclusion, S&P 500, like I said, the $1 billion quarterly range. But two, this is almost, look at what just happened here with this market collapse as a somewhat of a blessing. Look at what we're dealing with here. We just had 2-3 weeks of market collapse. Last Friday, everyone was crying. It looked like things were done here. And, there's people that bought, and look at where things are at now. But in that, we saw lows with a lot of stocks. We saw what was the bottom, what was the dam, where was the dam held up, where we know this is the lowest at this point without some kind of world shock hitting the market. This is as low as we're going to see this stock go. And talking about SoFi right now, this is the lowest we're going to see SoFi go. 23 and some change was it. But when we got to 23 and some change, it was bought up. And even with what we just went from Friday close to Monday pre-market open, SoFi was just getting bought. We're seeing huge orders coming through the market here. I was watching, I was like, oh my God, like this is why Monday I was like, I think we're going to be back at $30 here before we know it. Essentially, we've grabbed $1.50, almost $2 in, a little over 24 hours, every day here. So, this is really, really encouraging. This should make you really happy here, because it tells you, this is a really healthy stock. It is it's a healthy company, but it also has a healthy stock attached to it as well. And that's a really good place to be right now for a lot of people if you're in this. So, even if you're one of these people that maybe you bought SoFi at 30, at 31 and some change here when we had that high, and you're like, man, is it going to go? Like I said, we could just be rolling into next year. This is the argument right here. This is what the bears don't want to face. This is why I stay positive right now with this market. I've been staying positive. I didn't believe, and not that I didn't believe, but I just don't want to give into this conversation right now of AI bubble. Will there be pullback? Will something happen? Will things change? Absolutely. We saw a little stuff happen here just, Wednesday with Meta and Nvidia conversation, about chips and all this kind of stuff where people started to get a little, upset. There will be a moment here more than likely where we see the market, pull back. AI stocks maybe fall short of a little money. Money, will fall back a little bit. But right now we're not seeing that. Why are we not talking about this particular thing? Why are people so shy to say that, like, hey, we might just go into 2026 rolling. We might go into 2026 like this freight train from hell, just rolling, baby. Because if we get this rate cut here, the market goes, this is what we like. And what's after the rate cut? The new year. What's into the new year? Q4s, here we go. What do we know about these Q4s? More than not, the MAG is going to report even better quarterlies than what they just went through in Q3. Why? What are the main ones that are making money here out of the MAG 7? Meta. Meta makes a ton of money off of ads. And right now, holiday ads, that's where they make large portions of their money. Boom, they're probably going to do really exceptional on quarterlies. Nvidia's already said, like, hey, these next quarterlies, oh boy, they more than likely going to be right under 70 billion. Okay, boom. Apple, they can't keep the phones in stock. Boom. Amazon, I'm not even going to talk about it. I mean, what do you want to say here? And not to mention that a lot of, not too many companies that are retail companies in general, but AI companies, they do well over the holidays, and we're just not seeing pullback in the AI stocks right now. So this is why I go, if we get this rate cut, great. It will solidify getting, a stronger market going into the new year. Two, with that, why bank stocks and a lot of ETFs could do so well going into next year. SOFI here. Quarterly still going great, but more rate cuts. Drum's out. He's gone. We just went through these. How many years has it been now with Jerome Powell? God love him, but he's done. He's gone. And Trump's he's gonna appoint someone who's going to be a puppet. I don't say that to be politicky, whatever. That's just the God's honest truth. And that person's going to fight for whatever he wants. And what do we know what Trump wants? He wants rate cuts. They want aggressive rate cuts. I mean, they've even talked about 2.5 getting, he is talking about insane aggressive rate cuts. Now, I am not here to break that down economically, all that I am not the person to talk about that, but I am an investor. So when I see what's happening, I go, what do I know as an investor? I know there's a feeding frenzy. Let me jump in. Bank stocks, they're going to do well off of rate cuts. They're going to do well. SoFi, look at what the market is doing now just off we're getting a rate cut. Friday, we're not getting a rate cut. Monday, we're getting a rate cut. Look at the difference, what we're dealing with right now. This is not a conversation of AI bubble. That conversation as of right now is dead in the water. Right now, what we're dealing with is Jerome Powell talking, and we weren't getting rate cuts to now we're getting rate cuts. This is what we're dealing with in the market. The market is wanting to run. I have said this for 3 weeks. The market wants to run. And this is what we're getting. Friends, I hope all of you have had a fantastic day, are going to have a fantastic day. I really do mean that. And we will be back talking about the market, see what happens. Friday could be a good day. Could be a good day. It's going to be an interesting day. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye-bye, everyone.